What was it for you that drew you to the script?
You know, I think my answer for this sort of doesn't fit with most people's idea. The actual answer is that Kevin Downs, the producer, who's one of the actors in the film, is my friend, and he called and said, "Hey, will you be in this movie?" And I knew what his background was, and he gave me the basic snapshot of the movie, and I said, "Yeah." So for me, it was really an act of friendship to be in this movie.
Oh, okay, that is very different from
Yeah.
how a lot of other
Yeah.
people got involved. What for you? I mean, listen, this is a comedy, right? And it's a film that is family friendly. A lot of Christians are going to like it. A lot of non-Christians are going to like it. But it's a family-friendly film, and I think there aren't a lot of comedies that are family-friendly. Why do you think that is?
Billy, I disagree with your premise.
Then go for it.
When you look at the end of a year, you look at the DVDs of family films that are out there, there's thousands of titles. The thing that's hard to do is to make them so they really connect with an audience, and it's also hard to get them, is to let the audiences know they're there, because the system, the PR system, the media system, the studio system isn't set up to promote these kinds of movies. And I would say historically it's because that's not the movies that people pay to go see. But more and more, people are saying that they really wish there were movies out there that reflected their values. Having an unapologetic look at middle-class America, middle-class Christian family in America, in a sweet way, does that, and that's why the people who we've been showing it to, some of the mom blogger community and others are just, they love it. They love it so much. And so I don't think that there's a huge absence of family films. I just think it's not the habit of studios and the film purchasing community to acknowledge them when they come along.
Maybe they haven't connected, like PureFlix Entertainment, for instance. Huge, lots of movies coming out from PureFlix, but maybe people don't know about them necessarily.
Well, we're hoping people will now this is an interesting concept, but you get in your vehicle and you drive to a cinema. That's a European, that's European
that's like
for movie theater, and you pay what is likely, $500 for 2 tickets, and sit and watch this movie with your family. That's how people will get more movies that are family friendly to be made, because they'll spend more money on budgets for films that people are willing to pay to go see. This film is a rock-solid DVD, grand slam, no question about it hit. The question is, will people come to the movie theater on Mother's Day weekend and sort of say, you know what, after church, once they've got their family dressed up and everybody's looking perfect, let's go look at what happens when the big issue with going to church for the family in the movie is that the little kid who's in the daycare gets his head stuck in the toilet. Like, every family's dealing with that kind of issue, but only
someone
certain.
gets tasered. I mean, who doesn't want to see a movie where someone gets tasered?
Patricia Heaton gets tasered.
Right.
Of
I
all
love
the
Patricia
people, if you had a list of people you'd like to tase, she's got to be in the top 10.
That's my favorite scene. One of my favorite scenes, hands down.
That was a mistake. That was an accident. The cop says, yeah.
So for you, you've been in so many epic, huge films. Obviously, The Goonies, which we'll talk about. I know you've been asked about 1,000,000 times a day about the
But
Goonies.
on The Blaze, we're going to break news.
We are going to break news.
Yeah.
Now, I want to know, for you, how was Mom's Night Out different from a lot of the other films that you've been in?
Well, we filmed in Alabama. The filmmakers are a couple of Alabama locals. Like I say, one thing that I don't think gets talked about or isn't really understood is that they're middle-class guys, and they're making a story about a middle-class family. And most of the time, you don't do that because it's not heightened enough, it's not dramatic enough, it's not intense enough. But these guys, their feeling was they're married, they've got kids, and in any great school, they tell you to write what you know. And so these guys are writing what they know. I'm married for 22 years with 3 kids. Sarah Drew, the star of the movie, who's known for her incredible work in Grey's Anatomy, she's married with a baby and toddler now, I guess. And so it was a bunch of people who had families coming together to make a movie about families. So there was nothing hard about it, really. It was just a sweet, lovely way to spend 5-6 weeks in the summer in Alabama. It was, it was like a studio student film.
And you talk about having 3 kids. I have a 20-month-old, and I know how
Nice.
crazy it can be, right? So I'm watching this movie, and I'm laughing because I'm thinking, okay, I've seen this happen with my kid before, or something similar. Were there moments in just watching the movie and also filming it where you're sort of laughing to yourself, thinking, yeah, this is the chaos of being a parent?
Yes. As a matter of fact, there were many moments like that. My character in the film is nominally the loving, supportive, doting husband who wants to do the right thing. And like many loving, devoted, supportive spouses, when it comes time to grab the reins of responsibility and day-to-day childcare things, he's maybe a little out of ammo. But for me, in my life, I always wish I was a little better. You know, I wish I was a little more understanding. I wish I was a little more stable. I wish I was a little more
Don't we
something.
all?
Do you?
I did, of course. Of course I did.
You're great with your baby. Come on. But this movie is sort of a love letter to that idea. Like, you know what? It's okay that you're not, and this is what it looks like if you were a little bit.